me.
Next piece of news, and this is the big one. It's one of the big ones in my opinion. Elden Ring is at 97 right now on Metacritic. It's standing at a 97 right now. I think it's like a top 15 rated game of all time right now on the Metacritic charts all time. And you just look at just 100, 100, 100, 100, right?
Dude,
Like it's just
perfection.
everyone is just the question is this dethroning things like Breath of the Wild? Is this going to be like the new standard for open world games? We want to preface this. Any opinions we give about this game, we have not played it yet. We both have it pre-ordered. I went down and I paid for my copy in full today, so I'm going to get mine tomorrow at some point in time. This is going to be what I'm playing all weekend long. We will give you all of our thoughts and insights next week.
I got it digital, man.
But you went digital, right? Yeah. So you get it tonight at 9.
I get it tonight. Nah, actually, I got it on a third-party website, so I get it tomorrow sometime. But if I don't get it by the key by the time I wake up, I'm on my way to work and make a couple of visits. But yeah, dude. I wish I could
From Software is popping quartz right now. That's right, dude. Or they are popping quartz. They are officially one of the greatest rated games of all time. This is the one thought I had, Mark. Let me throw this idea off you. Is this a result of COVID in the sense of we had a year of kind of lackluster games? And we didn't get anything really great last year, except maybe like one game like Deathloop. And so because we didn't see anything in Masterclass or Masterpiece quality, is this just like people, they've just been waiting so long for something great that they just, oh my gosh, finally, it's been so long. Here's 100. This is a 10 out of 10, right? Or is it really legitimately like one of the greatest games of all time?
I think it has nothing to do with COVID, in my opinion. I think it has nothing to do with having lackluster games recently. I think that From Software has perfected the formula of their Souls-like games and brought it up, elevated their formula to a whole new level, which is open world. I feel like open world is one of the most popular. I feel like if it's just an open world game, you're going to sell copies. People are going to want to play it and people are going to like it because open world games are amazing, you know? So I just think that From Software perfected the formula after all these years, you know, after Demon Souls, Dark Souls, everything. I feel like they elevated by adding an open world feature to their amazing formula of games. And sometimes that's all you need, man, to make a perfect game. So
the reason why I mentioned this, all right, once again, I haven't played it, but the footage that I watch of it, it looks honestly just like Dark Souls, like the
Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls 3, the graphics, the combat, the interactions, literally almost everything. And that's why I was wondering if it's because it's been in a drought and people have just been thirsty for something great. Because if you look back, Dark Souls 3 on Metacritic averaged an 89.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 2 averaged a 91, and Dark Souls averaged an 89 as well. And they've never been this high, ever. If we look at Sekiro on Metacritic, that got a Sekiro got a 90. Right? So they've been around 90, 91, 89. Bloodborne, what did Bloodborne get? Look at Bloodborne. Bloodborne averaged a 92. So Bloodborne's the highest rated game they've ever made. And so I'm thinking, what if people missed? Like, why does this all of a sudden get a 97 when in the past they've never given the Souls games that? When this just looks so much like a Souls game. And look at this fight. I mean, this fight looks identical to almost every single Dark Souls fight. And all of a sudden it's a perfect game. Like, I'm just wondering, like, what's going on? Is it just
So
because it's open world now?
so in my opinion, they can produce 90 bangers all day. But I feel like maybe some of their shortcomings was the game was a little on rails. Maybe it was too challenging in some aspects. And I feel like they elevated the game by making it open world. Now, if we look at the most highly rated games of all times on Metacritic, you know what's mainly on the top 10? Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, all these open world games.
Witcher,
So Witcher. So I feel like
Breath of the Wild, yeah.
This was able to ascend them from that 90, making it open world. Like I said, the combat, like you were saying, the combat, the enemies, the fighting, to me, the UI, the
Yeah,
items,
carbon
everything
copy.
looks exactly the same. The graphics, I don't normally complain about graphics ever. Like it could look like crap, and that doesn't mean much to me. But when I was seeing this in my head, I always thought this looked like Dark Souls 3 to me because that one looked the best in my opinion.
I agree.
So I, always thought this looked like Dark Souls 3, which wasn't a knock, but this wasn't like, something like Ratchet and Clank level where I saw like, whoa, all the textures and stuff that I never seen in games before. This looks very last gen, but that's not the important part. I just think that they perfected the combat, they ascended it by making it open world, and they took off the rails, so the game just feels so much more like a world. If you get stuck on a boss, you could go somewhere else.
See, that's fascinating to me because I always felt like the Dark Souls games felt like a world to me. It wasn't open, but it was an interconnected world. You could go whichever direction you wanted to go to, and it all looped back on each other. So I I am not necessarily excited about it being open world because for me, Dark Souls games of all kinds, Sekiro, Bloodborne, they're all 9.5 10s for me. Right? Like Bloodborne is damn near a 10 in my book. So is Sekiro. Like they're damn near 10s. So for me, 97, that's not unusual to me. But what I'm noticing is that they've never given any of the From Software games this kind of score before. And so I'm just baffled a little bit by that. I'm excited because to me, these are already masterpieces. I think From Software makes absolutely. Maybe it's just more people finally are playing it. Maybe that's part of it. There's just finally people are realizing the masterclass that From Software is because this is what they do. There's nothing new here to me. Like when I look at this, apart from it being, yeah, you're right. I can travel and it's open and I can go and explore. I can go and come back. That's true, Mark. But to be honest, everything I see here, all the aspects of a game, the combat, the traversal, the way it looks, the sounds, the voice acting, the RPG elements are all standard From Software.
And they're so standard that like the soft cap for skills, like stats, is the same. The mechanics for rolling, I feel like the core engine of the game is the same as every other Dark Souls game that came out recently. So you're right, dude. Like watching this right here, this just looks like any other Dark Souls game.
Yep.
When you're like this, there's nothing new here. But I think it's when you get out of here, when you're looking at this grand map, when you're traversing, I just feel like that gave this game an extra accessibility or an extra appeal, because I looked up how many copies of Dark Souls 1 sold, and it said up until 2019 it only sold like 1.7 million copies. That's nothing, you know what I mean? Dark Souls 3 sold 10 million copies. So I feel like it's been getting popularity. People have now, with the open worldness, I just feel like it's the most accessible time ever. It's probably the best time to play if you never played a Souls-like game before. I feel like this is probably the best way to start. And I think it's just the most accessible game. And I think sometimes accessibility makes the game a little funner,
Yeah, I will admit, I think you and I agree. We're huge Souls fans. We give them 9.5s easy. But I was not expecting the Critical World to be giving this a 97. I honestly was not expecting this. I was blown away when I saw the score. And my first thought was, God, I've never seen a From Software game get this high score before. This is absolutely, I was not expecting this, honestly. And then when you see last week, Horizon Forbidden West getting about an 89, which is a great score. An 89 is just an absolutely amazing score. And to see this get almost 10 points higher than that amazing game, that's an open world game. So I'm just like, it's just like shocking to me, the score they're getting. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I'm so happy because From Software is easily probably my favorite developer. It's really close. Naughty Dog is right there with them for me. But I love that they're successful here. I want them to have all the success in the world. I am so excited. I cannot wait. I am excited to see what it's like to be able to like find a dungeon and just explore it and then leave it, or just I'm gonna go, dude. I'm gonna piecemeal each section of the map, right? Just go, zigzag and just see everything that I can find. Collect everything I can. I mean, that's how I've always played Souls games, every nook and cranny. But now we get to do it in an open world. This was like a 100-hour game to me. I'm super pumped and excited. So this will be what I'm playing all weekend.
Me too, man. I told you there's gonna be two games I was gonna buy, and that was Pokemon Arceus was one, and this is two. I want a 1,000 gamer score this. This is gonna be the first one I beat because it just looks like, I don't know. I'm gonna devote all my time to this, man. However long it takes. But
Totally, dude. I've already got my PS5 moved on to the living room with my little mini monitor. Like, I'm ready to go,
hey, so
man.
you got it on the PlayStation 5, right?
Yeah, I got on the PS5.
I
I
think I
was
think
torn,
that's the
man.
pro move. I think that's the pro
Yeah.
move because supposedly it's optimized the best on the
Oh, I
PlayStation.
did hear that. You're right. I got lucky. So I definitely I pre-ordered mine before I even knew that it was more optimized than PS5. Yes, I have heard that the PS5 version is more optimized than the. Look at
10
this cheese.
FPS better.
Look at this dude cheese though on the horse. Like, there's gonna be so much, horse cheesing, dude, for sure. You just run away, run back in and attack. Run away, run back in and attack. I guess you're gonna kill all the dragons that way. Hey, that's cool. I'm fine by that. But I'm just saying, it's just so funny to me, like all the horse cheesing, dude.
Yeah, dude. But hey, I just wanted to say one thing. So the other Dark Souls games, they were like a world to me, but I feel like it was more of like a world contained in a maze. I feel like this is a little more of just, you know, not like a maze. Because for me, like the Souls like games are always like a maze, man. You gotta figure out it's kind of confusing to traverse the world, you know. Once you figure out all the entrances, you unlock all the doors. Um, I mean, that makes it probably feel a little more like intricate. You know what I mean? So I don't know how this is gonna feel with that regard because it seems like you go anywhere at any time. So
Right. That's my point about when I said earlier that I'm not necessarily super I wasn't necessarily super excited for the open world because that whole labyrinth and like, dude, what's this new zone I just entered? Like, that whole feeling is a Dark Souls feeling. Like, that is part of the experience of Dark Souls, right? Like, moving through down the labyrinth and turning a corner and entering a sewage, and you're just like, whoa, dude, like, what is this zone? Wait a minute, I'm gonna turn around. I'll come back here later. I gotta go back down this corridor to check this corridor out. Like, that's all part of, like, in my opinion, the Soulsborne experience.
yeah,
And I wasn't, so when I hear it being changed, my first inclination is like, just give me Dark Souls 4, right? But
yeah,
I'm definitely cannot be any more beyond excited for this because no matter what, I think From Software is a masterclass developer, and so I know what they're going to make is going to be incredible. But for me, making an open world doesn't necessarily make it better because
yeah,
what the Dark Souls experience was that to me, right? It wasn't hampered by that. To me, that's not a hampering. To me, that was adding to the experience. The castle, right? Like, that's what I loved about Castlevania games, uncovering every single room of a castle. You're exploring the castle. Yeah, it's a labyrinth, it's corridors, but that's the fun of it. Like,
yeah.
turning that into something else doesn't necessarily make me excited because part of what I loved about it is that, right? So that's kind of like, um,
I definitely see that point of
yeah.
view, man. For sure, I get that, man. But I'm gonna call this though really quick. I feel like we're gonna see a lot of maybe remasterings of the 2 and 3. Maybe just higher 4K. I feel like this is gonna bring a lot more fans. You know, they're gonna sell bundles with all the games. Maybe they already sell that bundle. I don't know, but I feel like it. I feel like a lot of people are gonna play this. It's gonna be the number one game on Twitch. It is right now,
Mhm.
and From Software is gonna only go up from here, man. Like I think they just gained fans from. I feel like maybe it was more a niche before, but I feel like now it's just mainstream, man. Everyone's gonna finally love the Souls like games, you know.
I think you're right. I think all the games get a boost from this. You're right about that. I think you'll see, yeah, a lot more Souls fans. You'll see a lot more sales numbers. You may even see more frequent releases because of this. They can increase staff. Um, I just think, it's just interesting to me because in my mind, I think From Software is going, I don't know what we did, man. We just basically cut and paste, Dark Souls and put it in an open world and look it. People think it's perfection. It's the best open world game ever made. And we're like, I just feel like that. Like, I don't know what we did any different. I mean, that's the combat we've always made. And now all of a sudden it's in 97.
I think you're right. I think you just read the mind of all the devs. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? You read the mind like, hey, we're building the same game we've been building for 10 years. We're using the same engine too. Like,
The
you know,
same, the same ability arts, the same weapon arts. I mean, like everything is
the
like,
flask looks the same, everything looks the same, man. But that's not a bad thing, you know.
yeah, I just don't think there's a lot of people that play these games, dude. Like you were
Yeah.
saying earlier, you said the numbers, like there's not a lot of people that know. So for a
Yeah.
lot of people, it's new, but for us who've been in the know for a long time on this,
Yeah, and I
it's
joined late, guys. I joined the Souls Like game way before, you know. Godly and Stern, I have been playing these since day one. So I'm late to the party. But there's gonna be a lot more people like me that are just like, you know, when you play this, you're gonna itch for other ones. And then when you get stuck on that one, you're gonna buy another one. That's what happened to me, man. Like
yeah,
I yeah, dude, they're great games, dude. Great games, man.
yeah. This is super great news. I can't wait, man. I'm so excited. Yeah, I immediately went out and paid mine off. Ain't no fears about this not being good, dude. All right.
I love you, me.